The whole village came to see Mr. Robertson off to town. The son decided to take his father to his place for a while. For the last year, the elderly man was often ill. His blood pressure was high. He felt dizzy. Doctors made an examination and advised Mr. Robertson to work less on the garden, but the elderly man was categorically against it. "What should I do? Sit on a bench and watch passers-by? Then I'll surely die of immobility. Nah, I know for a fact I need to move to live." "Daddy, why do you argue all the time?" asked his son Ben. "Since smart people say to work less, so it is right. After all, you will soon be 80. Live with us in the city for a while. Your house will not go anywhere." With a heavy heart, Mr. Robertson agreed. The treatment had a positive result. In addition, the son brought his father a voucher to a sanatorium where Mr. Robertson rested for almost a month. After the sanatorium, the elderly man returned refreshed, strengthened, but sad. "Oh, I miss my home, son. I can't take it anymore. Take me back to the village. I promise not to be sick anymore." The son reluctantly agreed. But in the village, his father stopped taking his medication and went straight to work. He mowed the overgrown lawn, trimmed the bushes. As a result, Mr. Robertson again became bad, and a neighbour called Ben. The man took his father to the doctors once again, and again, after a short period of relief, Mr. Robertson asked his son to take him home. But this time, Ben flatly refused. "It was lucky that your neighbour saw you when you fell on the porch. Who would have helped you? No. And don't ask to go to the village again. I feel calm only if you're with us. There's enough room for everyone. Besides, Dad, I've already found a buyer for your house. I'm sorry, but you'll have to take it. I can't be at peace knowing you're alone there, and perhaps already dying without help." "Well, then, my time has come," whispered Mr. Robertson sorrowfully. He signed all the necessary documents and the house was sold. Mrs. Lee had already been retired for several years and had long dreamed of a house with a garden in the countryside. When the deal was done, she walked up to a sad Mr. Robertson and said affectionately, "Thank you for such a well-kept house. I will cherish it. And you, if you get bored in the city, please come." "I'll be glad to." The invitation to visit his own house calmed the elderly man down a bit. He lived at his son's house, received treatment, visited doctors from time to time, and went to a sanatorium once more. After a year, his health was better. That's what it means to be looked after. It was the right decision to leave the village. "Dad, I only wish you well and want you to live many more years," said Ben. Mr. Robertson nodded, but he could never get used to city life. Sadness came over him every night. During the day, he still chatted with his neighbours, watched television, and on weekends, his granddaughter and great-granddaughter usually came over, and the whole family sat down for tea. It was fun, but after that, everyone went away. Mr. Robertson went to bed, and it was very difficult for him to fall asleep. He saw his house, his backyard, his dog Andy, and his cat Luna, which he had left in the care of the new mistress of the house, because he had nowhere to put his pets. Mr. Robertson tossed and turned without sleep, sighed softly, and dreamed that as soon as he felt better he would go to visit his village. So he thought almost every night, and these thoughts gave him no peace. Finally, he told his son that he wanted to visit his neighbours in the village. "Are you going back to look into your house too?" asked his son. "I wouldn't advise it. Don't disturb the past. It will only hurt you." "Are you having a bad time at our home? We're doing our best," added the daughter-in-law. "Exactly. This is your home, not mine. Hey, I miss it a lot. All the time I think about my house and the village." After a few days of this conversation, Mr. Robertson waited until everyone had gone to work, and leaving a note for his son, he went to the bus station. He took a ticket to his village, got on a bus, and in 40 minutes he was there. When he walked up to his house, he noticed that everything was as before, as if he had never left. His heart was pounding with joy. He glanced at the familiar windows, the steps of the porch, the fence. The elderly man stood like that for 10 minutes. Suddenly, there was a cat. "Luna, my dear cat," said Mr. Robertson, and taking the cat in his arms, stroked her with love. At the same time, the old dog Andy whimpered, hearing his master's voice. Mr. Robertson did not dare enter his yard without asking. He stood on tiptoes like a boy and peered over the fence, trying to reach the dog to pet him. Suddenly Mrs. Lee came out on the porch. She looked into the guest's face and gasped. "Mr. Robertson, is that you? I couldn't understand why Andy was whining so. Now it's clear. Come in, please." The elderly man came into the yard, and the dog almost knocked his master off his feet with excitement and joy, licking his face. Mr. Robertson stroked him, hiding his tears. "Well, enough already, Andy. You haven't forgotten me, my friend, and I haven't forgotten you." Then he turned to the woman. "Forgive me for coming without an invitation. I couldn't help it, but I missed my house very much. I'll just sit here a little and breathe, and then I'll go away. I won't disturb you too long, so don't worry." "No, I won't let you go like that. Come in. We'll have lunch now, then tea. Then we'll go to the garden, and you'll see the tomatoes I've grown." The elderly man had not expected such a warm welcome. He smiled like a child, and tears rolled from his eyes now and then. "Thank you, dear," whispered Mr. Robertson. "For what?" wondered Mrs. Lee. "For friendliness and kindness, for affection, and also for the fact that you have not changed anything here with new-fangled repairs. Even the wallpaper is the same." "I don't have time for repairs now, Mr. Robertson. I bought a house with the last of my savings, and your house was in very good condition and clean. Therefore, I'm happy with the way things are." They talked, walked around the garden. Mr. Robertson looked into the shed, touched everything with his palms as if asking forgiveness for betrayal, for leaving his native corner. After the inspection, Mrs. Lee set a table on the terrace and they had dinner. The woman told how she got used to the village and how she liked it very much. Time passed without a notice, and Mr. Robertson started for home. "The bus to the city will be here soon. I should hurry. I won't bore you any more, and thanks for all." "As you wish, Mr. Robertson, but I have an idea. If you'd like, you can stay here for a week or a month. You won't bother me. I'm alone anyway. My daughter lives in another city. She doesn't come back more than once a month. We'll have more fun together." The man could not believe what he heard. His joy was boundless. "Well, I don't dare bother you for a month, but if only for a week. Thank you. I'll cook on my own, and I'll help in any way I can." He returned to the city, and the next day Ben brought him back with his things and a bag of groceries. "Well, Mrs. Lee, I've no words. You're a woman with a big heart. Thank you for my father," said Ben. "Apparently he can't live without his village at all." Ben hugged his father and left, ordering him to call if anything happened. The week went by unnoticed. Mr. Robertson became alive. It was as if he was younger. Mrs. Lee kept him from doing hard work, but he was always there for her company. He tidied up his workshop, sharpened his axe and kitchen knives, put new glass in the window instead of the old cracked one. "That's what a master in the house means. I won't let you away so easy," smiled Mrs. Lee. "I'd fix the fence too," said Mr. Robertson with a smile, "because it's a little askew. It's not right. Also, I'll ask Ben to buy some paint. As soon as he gets it from the city, I'll paint it." When Ben arrived to pick up his father, Mrs. Lee called him to the house while Mr. Robertson was in the shed and persuaded him not to take his father to the city. Let him live here with me. It's summer now. We get along well. It pains me to see him clinging to things to be useful, you know. And things are not hard, so let him do them if he can do them. I'm not going to let him take on any hard, tough jobs. So let him live here." The son lowered his head, well aware of how happy his father would be. He hugged Mrs. Lee tightly and put the bills in her robe pocket. "What are you, Ben? You don't need to." She tried not to take it. "It is necessary. This is for you and Daddy, for sweets and treats. You have to go to the store every day. And I also brought you groceries. And please remind him to take his medicine on time." When Mr. Robertson saw his son, a shadow ran across his face. He should be glad that his son had come, but he was suddenly frightened that he would be taken away now. "Hi, Daddy. Just imagine, Mrs. Lee doesn't allow me to take you to the city. So tell me, are you going to stay or come with me?" "No, I'm not tired here at all. Honestly, I take my pills on time now too. I go to my neighbours every night for gatherings. I've got a community here, thus I don't want to go yet." "Okay," replied the elderly man, and looked at Mrs. Lee with gratitude. "Ben, don't worry. Everything will be fine," said Mrs. Lee. Ben had tea, walked around the garden with his father, looked at his work, hugged him, and drove for his home. In the evening, Mrs. Lee and Mr. Robertson sat on the porch. Luna was lying at her master's feet, and Andy the dog kept his eyes on them. The sun had almost hidden behind a cloud hanging over the horizon. "Look at that sunset," said the elderly man. "When the sun goes to sleep in a cloud, it's going to rain in the morning. The weather's getting bad." "That's good. Then we'll stay home. It'll rain on our garden too, and we'll have a day off. It is necessary to rest so that we can admire such beauty, our village, this wonderful nature, for a longer time," replied Mrs. Lee. "And I can't live without my village and my home. Now you understand me," said the elderly man with a smile.